Okay, and now what do I do after I have live and I have all my stuff? What do I do here?
What do you mean, what do you do?
Are we live right now? I hope nobody's watching. Okay, so how do I save this, hon? Jason, how do I save this?
You don't. You just go down there and click go live.
It won't let me. Okay.
Well, you got next. I didn't have next.
Next, this
I
video.
feel like something must be wrong because we've been 45 seconds and
Nobody's joined?
nobody's joined.
Oh, could we see on here?
Yeah, why don't you see if it shows up on the laptop? Because, oh, now we got somebody.
Okay.
Somebody's loaded.
Is it a rotate device? Ugh, I'm not good at this. It says rotate screen.
I don't.
Oh, great. I don't want to go live that way. It's starting all over. Okay.
Oh, now we got some people. You better get your stuff together. We got people showing up here.
Sorry. Hi, I'm so behind. I can't deal with this. Okay, well, it's going to
Good
be
afternoon, everyone. Beth was supposed to be live too, but she's still
struggling here.
Here, no, just cancel. Oh, too late now.
Okay, close. How do I turn it?
Wasn't there an orientation thing somewhere?
Mm-mm. Orientation is rotate device back. It's locked.
I don't know.
Technical difficulties.
I don't know on your. Okay. I don't know on yours.
Okay, I'm just gonna end the live and then try it again. I did set it up that way.
All right, we're trying to get set up. Sorry that we're fumbling here a little bit, but I haven't done a live in a very long time on my channel.
It's my first one, so I'm having issues. Sorry about that. Orientation.
And there you go. Yeah, so you got it straight horizontally. The made for kids. No. Did you title it and all that stuff? No title.
It might not be. Is it working? Okay.
There we go. There we go. Now
it
you're
just
set.
might be whatever it is at this point.
Okay, and so now I just need to get set up here. We got to get set up. We're setting up one other thing here so we can actually see your guys' questions.
Did I have anything here?
So,
okay.
Probably should have done this before.
You always have issues with your phone. Grandkids live too far away. I know. I need my kids right now to tell me how to do this. My son would be on it. I don't think I'm doing mine right, but that's okay.
Okay.
Oh, well.
So now
When is the wedding, LOL? Not now.
live.
Okay, you have, I think I did mine wrong because I have 0 people.
They'll come on in a minute. It took.
Well,
did you make sure that you set it to unlisted because you clicked out of it?
Okay,
and
do
then,
I just end it and then try it again?
Maybe. I don't know why I can't see this live on my.
This is kind of embarrassing. It's this end. That it's this much of an issue to set this up.
Yeah, for whatever reason, I'm just not. Oh, I'm on the wrong channel. That's why I'm on our new channel. That's why I can't find anything.
Yeah. Too many channels to manage. Okay, I'm going to try a live for the 3rd time. If I don't get it here,
okay.
We've got an issue here.
Oh, look at that. Now I can see my
orientation.
Live.
Okay, and I said next. Oh, edit is why. Unlisted. Public. Okay.
Okay, customization and claims, clips and shorts.
My viewer's going to be like, she does. Oh, wait, I'm early, though. It's 5:57. Okay.
We're a little bit early.
You guys are good. You're on here early. Courtney's on there. Yay.
Okay. Analytics. View live control room.
Okay.
That's what I want, I think.
Venture is live. Let me just do this real quick. Started.
Okay, now I can see it. Now I can actually see what you guys are telling me over here.
Okay, public.
Okay. You need Beth.
It's just not even going to have a description, I don't think.
Potential shows are showing some real potential. It's okay.
Jason knows what he's doing so much more.
I don't. I'm just getting there. So did you get on to
Okay, I was going to do a description because I have 2 minutes, so I just figured I should really fast.
Okay.
So people know what they're watching. Me and...
Well, and okay.
Jason with Primal Outdoors.
Don't call me Courtney Laugh Out, so it must be Marshall.
Oh, it's Marshall. Hi, Marshall. Tell your wife to get on, too.
Live Today Wonderland. Want to give shout out to you guys. The Off-Road Camper.
This is so fun.
Yeah. See, so
If I could get mine working.
so many things start happening, and now like I can't focus. It's hard for me to focus. But anyways, guys, welcome to my live. Beth is still not getting her live up. We were gonna try to be live on both channels, so that way we got Beth's subscribers, and then of course we got my subscribers here, and we're gonna chat about, obviously many of you know, the new Grit and Glam YouTube channel. I don't know how many of you have had a chance to check it out. Beth is very concerned that because I have not talked about it specifically on my channel yet, that none of my subscribers know about it. But I know have a single YouTube channel called Grit and Glam Adventures, and so that way when we go out and do adventures together, instead of us both creating basically a very similar video, we can create one video for that channel together, and it's kind of nicer because we both get to film.
Yes. And we're not all over on top of each other with our cameras, like filming the same thing. So.
Yeah. So if Beth is trying to do something, like say for perfect example, like she's cooking dinner and she's trying to film it, instead of like me coming in and trying to grab shots for my video while she's trying to grab shots, I can actually just film that while she's cooking, and that makes it just so much easier. And then also we can get the different perspectives and put the two different perspectives of the trip into the same video. And so far, that's been working pretty good. How many of you have seen at least one of the new videos? Either there's a delay or nobody's has seen any of them.
I saw a couple comments that said they watched them all. Oh. Mine says it's live, but nothing's happening.
Yeah, 4 people.
Oh.
Yeah, 4
Hi,
people.
Guys.
So we all 3 watched them all. Not yet. We are just now hearing about this. North Carolina. Just got off work. Sorry, I'm behind. Yeah, no worries.
Sorry to my people, because I struggled to get my live up 3 times to make this work. So it's just going to be a vertical rotation right now on my phone instead of horizontal. So thank you. I don't know why it's doing it, but I cannot fix it. I've tried.
Yeah, I don't know why yours is.
Jason's is working fine. So mine's a struggle. He's the analytical. He can make it all work. I just show up with the camera. But, oh, thanks for everybody that's saying that you subscribed. Hi from New York. Courtney, you made it on my channel. Yay. Oh, that's sweet. Belinda, thank you for subscribing to all 3 channels. I know, we worked so hard yesterday. We were late to get the episodes up because trying to load not only our individual episodes, but then committing to putting 3 out, we struggled with that. It was hard, but we did it.
And there was a mistake, and we ended up having to delete 2 episodes and then re-upload them so that they would be in the right order, because we accidentally put one live when we didn't mean to, and then that put it out of order. So video 2 would have been video 1, and that looked awkward. So we ended up deleting the 2 and 3 so we could get them back in order. And so the whole plan was, by the time Beth's video on her personal channel went out yesterday, the other 3 were all supposed to be posted, but we only had the 1 posted. So
I love people from Massachusetts and Alabama. I love all my East Coast people joining in right now, because I did a couple trips back east and I gained so many new subscribers from there. So it's so fun to see all my East Coast people jumping on. I love it. I've never done a live. It's kind of fun.
Yeah, it is kind of fun.
Yeah, it is.
So I am seeing some people on mine that say they had not heard about it. And so if you're searching for it, the easiest way to search for it is probably to go down in the description of this video. I just put the @Grit and Glam Adventures, and you can just click on that, and that should take you straight to the channel. And then you can see that there's 3 videos, because I know on my channel I talked a lot about that we had some Washington content, that Beth and I traveled through Washington and we had all that content. Well, when we decided to do the channel, we decided to turn that into our first Grit and Glam series. So that's why those videos never came out on our individual channels, because we were holding on to them to launch here, and we spent this last week cramming and getting the first three and the first three edited so to get the channel launched.
Well, and a funny story about that, we knew we wanted to do a channel together. We had talked about it, like pros and cons, for such a long time, and we had ran about like by a few other YouTubers, but we were literally sitting in front of Mount Rainier in that campsite, and we're like, let's just make this a series. Like, we didn't plan it ahead of time. We were just like, we're gonna make this our starting series for our new channel.
Well, in all fairness, we had just left Dirt Lifestyle Nate house, as many of you guys saw, that we spent some time at his property and hung out with him, and we had a long conversation with him about doing channels and this and that. We talked YouTube strategy, which is always fun when you're with other YouTubers, but I think we left on a little bit of a high after having that conversation with him, and we were just like, let's make it happen.
I don't feel like there's ever a really good time, and we were in such an iconic place that I just felt like it was the right time to do it. But it was hard because we still had stuff to film for our own channels, and then all of a sudden, like, I'm skipping from Washington to where I'm headed back to Northern California, and so I know that felt confusing for my viewers, but it's fun because we captured some really cool stuff that we're excited to share with you guys. So I think it's going to be worth the wait getting to see it that way. But yeah, it's fun reading all the comments as they pop up too.
It is, but it's distracting. It's distracting, you know. So I'm trying to read mine while you're talking, and then I'm like, so trying to catch up. Somebody's concerned that I'm leaving. Black Dog Adventures is concerned that I'm leaving Prineville. That's not right away. My shop's still there. The bus is still there. I actually have a little video coming out on the bus on a little upgrade that I did coming out soon. That I did while Beth was actually here. So right now, I guess we should tell them we're in Northern California.
We are, yes.
So you're probably going to be seeing content, because like you're seeing content from Beth that's like from Washington, and from me on this Sunday and last Sunday. You're going to see Oregon and stuff like that. But obviously we edit that stuff, and it takes a few days, and then we try to put it out the week. So you're getting a little advanced look. So right now we're in Northern California. Yeah, we're actually in a place that we've made a video together before, so you guys can see a little bit outside there.
It's really pretty.
Really pretty day. No smoke for my Oregon folks.
Here's a little behind the scene. Ben is sleeping on the bed. That's his little spot that he likes it. And then Apollo is just hanging out here keeping guard while we're doing all of this. Yeah. I do want to, there's a couple new people. So for my subscribers there, Ben is up on the bed. There's a couple of my subscribers asking some questions. No, we are not a married couple. We're dating, and I know that was probably a question that was going to come up, but we've been seeing each other for about a year now and do a lot of travels together. And so we are going to keep our individual channels, both Beth's Midlife Adventure and Primal Outdoors. We're going to focus on our solo travels and the things that we do on our own with family and friends. And our new channel, Grit and Glam Adventures, is going to be our joint adventures that we do together. Because you guys have seen a lot of Jason on my channel recently. And so we thought it would be best to keep what we've worked so hard on both of our channels while still sharing with you guys what we're currently doing together as well. So that's kind of the purpose behind what we're doing. I need to fit you in mine too, because I'm on this. Thank you, Jeff. And oh, what rig build would you guys consider to both live in? We knew that question was going to come up.
Yeah. So we went, that was kind of why we went to Expo this year.
Yeah, we've talked a lot about it.
Yeah, we went to West, and then of course I usually always go to PNW, but Beth has never done the Overland Expos before. You've done van expos,
yeah,
and RV, you know, things, stuff like that. But that was kind of one of our big reasons for going to Expo, was to look at different options and see what direction we might want to go. And we saw a lot of things, and we haven't really decided on anything. There's definitely some contenders. The challenge for both of us is that we want to make sure that It has a few more amenities, and obviously with two people, a cat and a dog, we want to make sure we're not just feeling like we're on top of each other. But we also want to make sure that it is capable. That is, it does have four-wheel drive, but we don't want it to also be so big that it becomes too big to go anywhere. So we did look at LMTVs real heavily for a while, but we've kind of, I think, scratched those off our list. We've just decided that as cool as they are, they're just too large of a rig.
Big. We want something that we can get around most areas in, but the LMTV would have been so fun. And then the other part, not only is it really big, but it's hard to communicate when you're traveling together in it. They're so loud. And we looked at a few of those and just decided we would like to find something a little bit more nimble and smaller that allows us to get more places without having to tow a second vehicle, but something bigger than our vans. So
yeah. So we've been looking at so a few things that we have looked at. We've looked at
Don't give away too much.
I can't give away too much.
Just a little bit.
We've been looking at one of the things, without talking about what rig or whatever, something that I think is becoming more and more important to me is the seeing the vehicles that have the composite, like composite structure, where it's like a laminated composite where you have like an FRP and then a foam and then another laminate, and they come in panels, and then they build the camper. Kind of like if you guys have seen Phil from Down to Mob, you've seen his composite build. I really like that idea because the insulation value is just so good. And when it comes to us having pets, one of the things that is always a struggle for us is keeping our vans cool. And even though we both have ACs, vans are metal boxes. They're hot boxes. It's a lot of work for that AC to be able to overcome that. So it's just it's useful to have in the AC, and it definitely makes a huge difference. But it's definitely harder to cool a metal box versus like one of those composite boxes, which is basically like having, being inside a Yeti cooler. You've got that kind of insulation. So that's something that I really like.
Yeah, I like the composite box. We've looked at a few builds. A deal breaker for us is we all pets. I've had my van 4.5 years. Jason's had his van 4.
6.
Oh, 6. Oh, a lot more.
Yeah.
I'm not. Yes.
I've had my van since end of 2019.
2019, that's right. But the big thing for us is we're so used to being able to get up, get in the back. And for me, with traveling by myself so much, that's a safety concern too. Of sometimes if I'm pulling into somewhere and it's dark or maybe a little sketchy area, I just want to be able to park and then like get back, set everything up, and not even have to exit the vehicle. So I do know for any future thing, I would really want a good pass through, and that's good with the pets too.
So Chambers Family Overland said they know somebody with a bus.
Oh, yes, I do know somebody with a bus. You guys should see his bus in person. It's rough. It needs a lot of work. I can envision things. I feel like that one's a hard one for me to envision unless we just took parts of it and started from scratch. So.
Well, I think the biggest challenge with the bus, there's two challenges for me with the bus. From a perspective of a vehicle that we be building together is it's a bus. So that means it has no passenger door and no passenger seat. So we'd have to jury rig some kind of setup for Beth and I in the bus. And that wouldn't be as ideal. The other thing that I don't quite like about the bus for me, even individually, that now that I've had it and messed around with it a little bit, is the roof height. It just isn't quite as tall as I would like it. I'm 6'4". I'd like to just be able to stand completely up in it. And if I'm standing in it, my head, and this is not with even it being built out or having insulation or anything like that, my head is touching the ceiling. So
yeah, he's very tall, 6'4", 3.
I just said 6'4".
Oh, 6'4", yeah.
You can't remember what I said 2 seconds ago?
I was reading the comments. Oh. Sorry. No, sorry. I'm listening and reading comments.
Yeah,
it's hard to do both at the same time. But I was going to say, at Tuscan Janitor said maybe a van that has side extensions, kind of like an RV. Not sure what the proper term is for that or if it exists. But I do think that that's an idea. Like
Yeah.
we've looked from RVs to truck campers to LMTVs to everything.
Right.
Yes, Grit and Glam can go to Tennessee in the fall. Hi, Nicole. I don't know if my little bird's watching. I have to say hi to the people I love that I see popping up on here, but it's so fun to see you guys. I have to convince Jason to go back east. Do you guys think we should take a trip back east? That's a big hot topic.
Yeah.
I think that would be fun. I think it would be really fun. No
There's
comment.
there's not much public land out east.
There's not, but there's so much to see. I enjoyed my couple trips back there. There was some really fun stuff out there. So
I need remote adventure.
yeah, we could do some remote out there. But
The Grit and the Grit and Glam needs remote adventure.
oh no, we do have a lot of fun adventuring together, and I think that was a big part of us just wanting to start a joint channel was, you know, Jason's done YouTube for such a long time. I've been doing it a year and a half, so I'm like all excited to get started and do it, and he's had his channel evolve over the years, and even now with a year and a half, there are times it's easy to get burnt out.
Right.
And so I do love solo traveling, but I would say I definitely have more fun traveling with him, and I don't want to not share that side of my life that's going on, and I think that's important to you too.
No, I think, well, and I think that's what's important about also the solo channel is I think there's a certain expectation of the type of adventures that people expect on Primal Outdoors. And that was actually part of our struggle a little bit, is that a lot of the things that we were doing together were revolved a little bit around the things that Beth can do with her van. And the things that we both actually like to do, but I didn't necessarily feel personally that was like good Primal Outdoors content. And so I would struggle a little bit with filming the things, even though it was fun and I was having fun doing it, but I would struggle getting content for the channel. And so I like the idea of Grit and Glam because it's a new channel, it's a new genre of videos, and you know, there will be a little mix of Primal Outdoors, a little bit mix of Beth Midlife Adventure, but it's just, we're hoping to build an audience that loves what we're doing, and so that there's not the stigma of like, oh no, I have to be out in the middle of nowhere, you know, on rough roads and da 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 da. I can't be, you know, sitting in, you know, a harvest hose petting alpacas.
You loved that though.
It was very fun. It was very fun, but but it's just
it's not all the time. And what's funny is on my channel, so most of my van life friends, they are more like, we go to harvest hosts, we stay in campgrounds. I'm always the one that I say I'm off-road, and Jason's like, you are definitely not off-road. I am off the pavement. I just can't go as far off-road as you can. But I think the biggest thing about our channel is we have two totally different channels, and we have a lot of things that we enjoy doing together. Like we love to hike, we love to spend time outdoors, but we also are very different, and I think that's what makes our togetherness work pretty well.
Yeah.
So,
but we're still going to be making content for our personal channels too,
yes.
and that's, I think, what's good for us as from a relationship standpoint is that we do have times where we do our different things, and she goes and travels and does some of her content, and I go and travel and do our content, because you know, when you're in a relationship with somebody in a typical probably setting where you have a house, you probably go to different jobs during the day, and you know, you have time away. We're like, when we're together, we're, you know, obviously we have the two vans, and we can have that opportunity to, like, I can go to my van for a little bit and kind of hang out and have some alone time. She can have her alone time, but I think it's just nice to have a little bit of that kind of traveling together, doing something together for a while, and then being able to kind of go jump out, and I'll go do some solo adventures and she'll do some solo adventures. And then, you know, then we're kind of reignited. And when we get back together, it's fun, and we're excited to go do another set of adventures together. So,
yeah, that's very true. I mean, we both talked about that on our channels of alone time is good for couples. And there's some couples that like a lot more of that than others. I would say I like togetherness probably more than alone, but I do like my alone time too. And like Jason said, it's nice when you are reunited again. What is that saying? absence makes the heart grow fonder or something. Am I embarrassing you?
No, I was like, I think of that. There's like a song, "Reunited," and it feels so good. That's all that's like running through my head.
It's interesting how much more fun for me anyway it is to have shared experiences.
Yeah, I agree with that 100%.
Yeah.
Because I do enjoy going out and do my little solo adventures. It's fun, but I'm excited when those are over to get connected back up with Beth and see her, and then go do an adventure with her. So, it, yeah, both are great for me, and I like I said, I find a lot of fun in both of them. So
yeah. I have more people from Tennessee jumping on. It's so fun. I have like more East Coast people, I think.
yeah.
Even though I'm from the West Coast, I feel like all my East Coast subs are tuning in right now. It's so fun to see. But do we have questions on
I don't know.
stuff?
We probably do.
We do. Sorry, it is hard to concentrate. We have 2 phones, 2 channels, all these comments going up. Oh, I do have merch, by the way. I sell it on YouTube, and it's all about van life stuff. So I have some stuff for myself and Apollo, but we definitely want to have Grit and Glam merch when we have a minute to breathe, because we literally just started filming all this stuff a few weeks ago and doing that. But smoking.
I don't have merch. I did at one time. I've been a little slack on that. I've never been really good. I've had merch and I've not had merch, and I know a few people ask for it, but it's kind of a challenge. And Beth is working with a company that she seems to like, and I keep meaning to get something set up, but I just haven't. I haven't done it yet. But maybe with Grit and Glam, we'll come up with some fun stuff that will be. I think we'll
Glam and grit.
That's not how it works.
No. Anyways, but yes, we are gonna have merch at some point. I think it will be good. So something. Oh, coffee. That's on his.
Black Dog Adventure says we need Primal merch first, though.
Well, then you better get on it.
Well, you said you were going to help me with it.
Well, we've had a lot on our plates right now, but yes, you do need merch for sure. He did give me a Primal Outdoors beanie and a hat, so I felt loved by that. And you know what? I never had Primal Outdoors coffee.
Why are you calling me out like that? We're supposed to have each other's back?
Is that calling you out? I didn't think that was.
Well,
okay. Okay.
Now they know that I don't always have Primal Outdoors.
Well,
That all
I'm just
my
saying,
coffee.
I don't always get to drink it.
Yeah. Well, I don't always have Primal Outdoors coffee. I wish I did always have my Primal Outdoors coffee, but I don't always have it, so it's not always. So see, she's totally calling me out right now.
Sorry, I didn't know. Okay. Somebody's asking, when will you suggest getting merch? I would say, so I've taught a couple classes on starting a YouTube channel. I always suggest if you're starting a channel that you should not really buy stuff for your channel until you're making income to support that. I think that's important.
Yeah, I think you should probably build an audience first.
Build an audience, and that's awesome. Congrats on 1,000 subs. That's huge. I remember I felt like I was stuck at 800 for forever.
Right. If you're starting a channel from absolute scratch, 1,000 really is, a milestone worth celebrating.
Yes,
because I know,
is.
like, it took me a very long time to get Primal Outdoors to 1,000 subs. I mean, you got to understand, I started it in Primal Outdoors in 2013, but it took a very, very long time to get that. So that is a huge milestone, something that you should absolutely be proud of. And I think that's if I can interject on that a little bit, like if you're starting your channel, the first thing you need to just really focus on is just, create an audience and create good content. Focus on the content, and make that first. I know we all kind of have the dream of being able to, support ourselves and be able to just travel and do everything, but build a loyal following first. Make that your first priority.
Yeah, and I would say, to piggyback on that a little bit, be authentic and real, because your audience will know if you're being fake. I think that's why we have a lot of people, at least I did for my subs, because I shared the good and the bad and all my mess ups, and that's relatable because we all are that way. But then also just find something that is important to you, a good passion that you have, and share that. And so I love traveling outdoors. That's why I started sharing what I'm doing, the van life. And I think that that will translate really well with your audience. So congrats on 1,000 subs. That's honestly a huge deal. And so I'm curious, where are we at with our subs for Grit and Glam?
I don't
Hold
know.
on. I was going to see, because we kind of I want to get as many subs as we can tonight. Like,
Well,
I would love to double. My goal is I'd love to be monetized in like 3 or 4 days.
we just gave them advice that said focus on making good content.
I'm taking all that back. No, we
Like-
are throwing it out there. Hold on. Now who's calling me out?
Yeah.
Now they're calling me out. Okay.
I mean, in the end, obviously, we do want the channel to be successful and some
Yes.
things like that because we would like to be able to do more adventures and things like that with the channel. But, one thing I do want to make sure that the videos that you guys get out of Grit and Glam are good videos.
Mm-hmm.
And I'll be honest, I thought it was going to be so easy to film with Beth, and make it so much easier than filming just by ourselves. But one of the things that I think we both learned when we did these first 6 episodes, that it wasn't as easy as we thought. Like, we're so used to doing things by ourselves and filming and doing certain ways that, like, we were a little bit lost at first. And honestly, the reason why I feel like it took me so long to even start editing the watching episodes, because I thought they were gonna be awful.
I know. Yeah, we really struggled because, and same thing with editing on the post side. Like, we both film for our own channels a very specific way, and we both edit a very specific way. And we're like, well, how do we make Grit and Glam feel different so they're not just watching Primal Outdoors or Beth's Midlife Adventure? And it's a struggle, and we're figuring that out. But we're just trying to be ourselves as much as possible. It definitely felt forced a little bit at first, and I was like, let's just roll the camera. The more we just shoot stuff, we can take it out. And I feel like we started to find a bit of a rhythm.
Yeah.
So
I'm hoping the next, happy with I'm personally happy with the way the first 3 episodes came out. I thought they ended up much better than I thought. I'm hoping that 4, 5, and 6, because there are 3 more episodes from our Washington trip, and then we are planning on filming some more for Grit and Glam here in Northern California while we're here. But I think that it would got a better for it. Is that Beth had already been doing some videos on her channel that I know she kind of struggled with a little bit because they were already like of us a lot doing stuff. And I just kept telling her, as she's like, I want something different. And I'm like, yeah, but when we do Grit and Glam, you'll start doing solo adventures. And that will be a little bit more to like the first videos that you were coming out with and that. But actually, like, what you're making right now is what I really wish our channel looked like, because those are great. She does such a great job at just like capturing the moments as they're happening and making it fun. And then I was like, I just kind of want it to be like this. This is what I want it to be. So if you guys have been following Beth and seeing like her latest few videos, I'm hoping that that's, with a few tweaks here and there, like that's what I'm hoping that Grit and Glam really becomes, because I felt like she already did such a great job at just capturing the two of us together and having fun. And that's, I think, like my biggest thing. I've been doing YouTube for, like I said, 13 years. At some point, there's points where it just doesn't, it's just not fun anymore. And I want Grit and Glam to be like us, truly doing fun adventures and truly having fun, and hopefully that comes across on camera and then in the videos and in the edit.
Yeah, I didn't know Jason could talk so much, honestly, until we started filming together. So fun story, because people have been asking, like, how did you guys meet? I didn't even know Primal Outdoors existed. I found him through van camping when I first started YouTube myself. I had reached out to a few channels of different van lifers, and I really loved his cinematic shots that he did, and his photography and just his drone. Like, I just was really drawn to that. And so I started watching him based on van camping. And then we started chatting back and forth, and he was like, you really should check out my Primal Outdoors channel. That's my main channel. And I'm like, oh, I'm good. I like the van camping stuff. And then I realized Primal Outdoors is like his main channel. And I really love Primal Outdoors now.
I used to joke
But
with her all the time. It was like, yeah, you like that van camping guy, but you hate that Primal Outdoors guy. Like, that guy's no good. That used to be
well,
a big joke between us for a long time.
yeah.
How many on my channel here, Primal Outdoors, knew I had another channel called Van Camping?
Yeah, I'm curious about that. I'm reading these.
I know. I'm trying, when you're talking, I'm trying to catch up and read what's going on mine so I look like I'm distracted or not listening to you. But I am listening, but I am paying attention to what people are saying here.
Oh, a few people did. Okay.
We should. So
JWP
JWP&W said we should have Casey Liddell edit our joint channel videos. And
we should.
I was like, yeah, I'm sure he's got time on his plate to do that.
Extra time.
But that's something we both said to ourselves. It's like, I wish we could just hand off because one of us has to edit the videos.
Mm-hmm.
And so we were like, I wish we could just hand off this footage to somebody else completely, and so that they put a fresh perspective on what we were filming instead of, so that it didn't end up, like Beth said, just looking like a Primal Outdoors video or looking like a Beth Midlife Adventure video. Though I'm completely okay if it ends up like Beth Midlife Adventure videos, because I thought the ones that she captured with us were good, like I said. But it would be nice to be able to have a third-party editor, but unfortunately that's just not financially in the cards to get somebody who there's just so much to that I think, one, we do want a fresh perspective, and we do want someone that would be able to edit it, but at the same time, we still want to like the videos ourselves, and be proud of what's being put out there. And so I think we like a little bit of both of each other's styles. So as it is right now, the first 3 videos, we've really tried to kind of meld a little bit of both of our styles together. And because there's things that I really love about Beth's videos, and I think there's some things
I love about his a lot.
Yeah. So we've tried to kind of put that together to try to make it feel to folks like they are watching something a little bit, especially to you folks who follow us, who we know are going to be our first subscribers. We wanted to have a bit of familiarity to you guys.
Yeah, and I have a couple questions on mine just asking, like, am I not doing solo female van life anymore? I still am very much doing that. I still am very committed to putting out a video every Thursday about my travels. They're just going to look different than the last couple months where I've been with Jason showing that so much. Those episodes are going to be at Grit and Glam Adventures, and I'm going to show more videos. Oh, Apollo wants to say hi. Hi, baby.
No, he didn't.
No, he didn't.
He wanted to go to his food bowl. He wanted to go to his food bowl, and I'm like, you're close. I'm gonna grab you. I'm gonna grab Apollo.
So the pets are the stars of the show. But just to answer that really quickly, I will be putting out videos every week, just like Jason is going to focus on his adventures. Me and Jason are both doing that on our individual channels, but all the fun banter back and forth and our together travels are going to be on Grit and Glam Adventures. So, but yeah, and editing is the hardest part. Oh, you guys love Apollo. Thank you. I love him too. Ben really loves him a lot.
So Daniel B9644 wants to know if I will ever put a video on van camping again.
That's a good question. Yeah.
It is a good question. I think about it sometimes. I don't know, when I got Ben, so I was doing stuff on van camping and I was really kind of pushing it, but then for some reason when I got Ben and I got a dog back in my life, something shifted in my mind and I just decided to continue with Primal Outdoors, because I know, quite honestly, that Daisy and Wheeler built that channel. They built that, and for me, and once I brought Ben into my life, which he has been he's totally sacked out over here.
He's been chasing lizards.
He's been chasing lizards and squirrels all day, so he's like
exhausted.
He's dead to the world. He doesn't even care about what we're talking about right now. Benjamin.
Ben.
Benjamin.
Hey, Ben.
Hey, Ben. Yep.
There he is. There's a good boy.
Is there a squirrel? Is there a squirrel? There's a squirrel out there.
Oh, don't tell him that. If there's not, he's going to get all excited.
There is a squirrel outside Ben that is not being...
Haunting him. Oh, he's at the edge
Yeah.
of the bed now.
Yeah, he's a good boy. And so, anyways, once I put, had been as part of the channel, I don't know, I just felt like that was Primal Outdoors content, not van camping content. So I just started putting all my effort back into Primal Outdoors.
Living. Grit and Glam just got announced. So we put out 3 episodes yesterday, so it's not making us money at all. And we have brands that we work with. We have audiences that love our individual channels, and that's something that we're both not willing to walk away from. And it wouldn't be financially smart to walk away from that now. But our biggest thing is making sure that for myself, that my Best Midlife Adventure episodes look very different from Grit and Glam Adventures. And I know that there will be people that subscribe to both, and there's going to be people that subscribe to just one, and that's totally fine. I just hope if you subscribe that you're watching, and that's what matters the most. But I appreciate you guys watching and supporting us. And yeah, I'm ending it because I don't know where it's going with the rest of that.
I'm sorry. I'm reading and trying to get caught up here. Blah, blah, blah.
I love seeing all the people on here that comment on all my videos. It's so fun. Okay, me and Jason had a little bit of a bet. We wanted to see who could have the most people on their live. I thought for sure he would because his channel's so much bigger, and he is winning. You're at 135. I'm at 76. It's kind of close.
Yeah, I think it's pretty close.
Your voice went high. Yeah, I think it's kind of close.
It is kind of close. I felt like we'd be pretty even on that, to be honest.
Yes, yeah. I think it's close.
Yeah.
But
the more important thing is how many people, if we did it, here a year from now, how many people if we did a live on
that's maybe why mine is glitchy. Don't turn it off.
Oh.
You disconnected me.
Sorry.
Are you ever?
It's back on. It's back on. You guys might have lost Beth for a minute. I was messing around. It's back on. It's back on. You guys might have lost Beth for a minute. I was messing around with her phone. It's my fault.
Jason was helping me.
I was helping.
helping fix my Wi-Fi. Sorry about
now
that.
I definitely have more people than you. No, just kidding.
Oh,
no, I'm sure you actually get that notification. No, you got more people now. See, I just helped you. You got more people.
Good. I don't think that was what it was, but okay. Yes, it's froze. Sorry, Backroads Nomad.
Yeah, probably the problem is because
okay. What does that mean? Somebody sent me a gift. Unk alert. UNC.
I don't know what that means.
What does that mean? I love the gift, but I don't. What does that gift mean? If you just sent that, tell me what it is. Sent an Unk alert. UNC alert. I don't know what that is, but I got a little gift of some kind.
Well, you should like it.
Yes.
Let's give it a like.
Jason's liking it for me. I want to heart it.
I don't know what that means either. I don't do lives enough.
Sharon.
We don't know what all the new features on YouTube are as far as I haven't done a live in, I don't know. I think the last live I did was with Donald 2 or 3 years ago.
Yeah, I've never done a live. I had never even done YouTubes for the last year and a half. I didn't even know that was a thing.
So here's the thing on for Primal Outdoors. I know this is all about launching Grit and Glam, and we're wanting people to, of course, come over and hang out with us up there. But how many people think that Donald and I should do an overland trip again? We haven't done one in a while, and so that would be some good Primal Outdoors content.
Way to just push that in there. No, I love Donald. He's amazing, and you guys have created some really cool content together for sure.
Yeah, I would say outside of the amazing content that I've created with you, some of my favorite content is the content that I created with Donald. Yeah, that's probably some of the content I'm most proud of on my channel.
Very well said. I love reading all these comments. It's so fun. But anyways, okay, questions you guys have for us. Okay. Thank you, Sharon, for sending it. Even though you don't know what it is, it was fun to get it. So thanks. I'm trying to think. Any other questions we should answer that you guys want to know?
Yeah, we've kind of just been rattling on here. Do you guys have any great questions about just anything that has to do with van life, traveling?
It says lost audio on your end. Maybe it's back.
I don't know. Wait, so tell you this, but no sound. You guys are getting no sound on me.
Uh-oh.
So are you guys getting no sound on me? Let me know if you're here. Let me know if you're hearing me or not. Okay, it's back. Okay, yeah, like I said, I think the problem is that we're both on one Starlink, and that's probably causing with the two. I don't know. The cabin you were staying at, ODFW owns. Is it still safe? No fires? Yes. That, as far as I know, there is no fires near that cabin.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, like you guys have probably been following in Oregon, Washington, Idaho. Man, this has been a horrible wildfire season. And even where we're at here, we're just in Northern California, just outside of Reno, Nevada. And there's been a huge fire there that's really affected a lot of people. And in fact, even some of Beth's family had to evacuate their home the other day.
Yeah, it was at like 88,000 acres.
Yeah.
So really big fire. So a couple questions I saw. So somebody was asking, what did we do and are we full-time van lifers? Yes, I've been full-time for 2 years. I've had my van 4.5. Jason's been full-time in his van 6 years, but he's been full-time on the road longer than that, about 9 years, right?
No, I'm like about 7.
7. So before I started doing full-time van life, I actually worked at a church for 8.5 years, and I ran a women's shelter for homeless moms with young kids. And it was a 2-year program, and I did that for a long time, and I really loved it. And what did you do before this life?
Well, I did a variety of things, but probably at the most I did IT. I did computer work. I worked as a IT manager for a couple of different companies. But I also did various other gigs. I've always been a little bit independent. I trained horses for people for a while. I used to do some farrier work back then. But that's a whole nother life. It was back when I had horses. I haven't had horses in 10 years or a little over 10 years. So, but yeah, but for a main gig, one that probably put the most money in my account was IT work.
Yeah. So very unlikely that we did van life, but it just works for us. And I thought I would do 6 or 8 months. That's what I kind of told all my family and friends. And it's been 2 years. And I just like this lifestyle. It's allowed me to be near family more at times. It has its challenges, 100%. I talk about that in an upcoming video. But I think it'd be really hard to go back to living in a house full-time with another full-time job just after doing this. So, but reading, when is the wedding and are Ben and Apollo going to be the best man and maid of honor? They are adorable, aren't they?
Yes.
Yeah, they're super cute. So they should have their own YouTube channel. But next question. Okay. Is Jimmy here? Courtney's asking. I don't know.
No, Jimmy
is not getting rude comments, so Jimmy's not on here.
Yeah. Jimmy must not, because we're not being trolled. We're not being trolled, so Jimmy must not be here. But I have to give a big shout out to Richard. I can't say your last name, Richard. I'm not even going to try to think. But thank you very much. Thank you very much for that. I appreciate it.
Okay, Andy is saying that there's a clicking noise in my mic when we speak. I'm not sure if it's only you or what. Is that affecting everybody on my channel, or is that?
Yeah.
Oh, that was nice.
Yes, that was very
so
nice.
Kind.
Competitive?
We are so competitive. That is something about Jason and I. We are super competitive. I don't know why. It's just ingrained in us for some reason. It's just, yeah, we compete about most anything. I think it's what keeps us on our toes. I think it's a positive thing. But
hey, Paul. I see Paul. Paul and Coco.
Oh, hi, Coco. I miss Coco's little orange vest.
Yeah. Yeah, there's got to be some glitching here because I see like every once in a while things
Hi,
kind of get
Ann.
slow.
We're in California right now too, so that's awesome. I'm glad you're joining us. You just get blown up. I wish. Can everybody see all the comments too?
Yeah, I think everybody sees all the
Okay.
comments.
Yeah. Did you announce ahead of time, you guys, we're going live? I may have missed a notification. I only did a YouTube post this morning, and we did an Instagram collaboration post this morning. We didn't
Right.
really.
I should
Yeah.
have done a YouTube post myself, but I only told my patrons that I was going live today.
Oh, and I told my Patreons as well. Yeah.
Yeah, they always get kind of first knowledge. They knew about the new channel. They knew we were going live. I just try to, because they are, giving a little extra. I always try to make sure that they get something a little extra. So, little plug to my Patreon. Yeah. Beth gives extra things for her Patreon too, so plug to her Patreon.
Yeah, no, I share up-to-date stuff, and I send one of my tiers, they get postcards from me and Apollo on the road, which is fun.
Yeah, that's nice.
That's nice.
I don't get a postcard from you.
You're a free Patreon though.
Oh.
Yeah.
Does your dad
Did
get
you
postcard?
subscribe? Well, my dad is my dad. He always gets a postcard. Oh. You're usually with me on the road. That'd be weird if I mailed you a postcard while we're together. Hey, really have enjoyed traveling through Oregon. Just mail that to you. Okay, we're going off on a tangent. What's other questions?
What we got here?
Let's see what else.
So this is a good one. What is the hottest temperature you have ever slept in? I don't know. I'm trying to think about that for a little bit because a lot of times for me, what I would do when it would get extreme hot is I would retreat to the Oregon coast because it can be over 100 degrees inland in Oregon, but if you get out on the beach, there's like an inversion that comes in and you just got the sea air. It will be like 100 inland, but it'll be like 65, 70, on the beach. So it'll be so much cooler. So I don't really remember, having to sleep in the van in any super extreme. I think probably 90s, in the 90s has probably
90s.
been the worst.
And well, honestly, when we were leaving Oregon, remember how smoky it was?
Mm-hmm.
And it was like it was really hot, but it ended up raining, which cooled it down. But that was a hot.
Yeah.
My AC could not keep up. That was a rough night. It was a hard one for me. Aside from Tennessee, what other areas might be on the radar? Luke is asking that. Well, next summer, I have a bucket list item that I have been wanting to do. I would love for us to do this together, and I've invited my parents because somewhere my dad has always wanted to go, but we would like to do like a 3-month long trip to Alaska. And so I've made no plans for next year because I would love for us to go end of May, June, July, and August and just take our time through Canada and Alaska. And we both love to film wildlife, so
I gotta stop you here right here because this is important.
Oh, this is important.
This is important.
Okay.
Because we have from David.
Oh no.
I can't say your last name, but David 9418. Thumbs up to sardines and mustard sauce.
Okay, that's disgusting. Him and his Kipper snacks. He came in to give me a kiss the other night, and I was like, "Oh my God, you just ate those Kippers, didn't you?" Yeah, him and Ben both love those, but I'm not a fan. So more for him anyway.
Really quick, Backroads Gypsy Traveler. I did not personally make my rack. I had that custom made by a fellow and he's done some other custom work on my van. He's just very good at fabricating and that kind of stuff like that. So that rack was custom made. I mean, I worked with him and kind of came up with the concept, but he made it happen.
Black Dog Adventure says Kippers are fantastic too.
Yes, they are.
My dad loves that stuff too. I've
just
never been
super
a fan.
Good. If you take a little kippered snack, I mean, for one, it's not sardines actually,
Yeah.
it's herring. But you put herring, you put it on like a Triscuit, add a little smoked Gouda on there.
So good. So
Really
good.
good.
So somebody asked if we're going to Alaska with Nate from Dirt Lifestyle. I know we have travel plans with them that we want to do. We haven't discussed Alaska specifically, but yeah, if we ended up going up together, that'd be pretty fun.
It would be fun. I know
Yeah.
he wants to do it. A lot of it is going to depend on the fact that he has to quit jacking around with that van and just get it done. And so
Oh my gosh.
that we can actually do something together.
Okay, Mr. I'm building a bus.
Actually, I'm giving you a hard time because he's doing like an extreme job with that van. It was really fun to go see what he was doing, but we do have, when he's done, we do want to do some adventures with Nate, and he's really excited about taking that thing out and doing some off-roading and doing some just regular fun camping with it with the family, and we want to do that. Whether that ends up us doing a little bit of time in Alaska with him or something, that I don't know. We'll have to just kind of see how that, what just transpires. I never say never because every time I say never, it ends up biting me in the butt. So we'll see what happens.
Yeah, we will see. But I know we definitely want to do some things in Washington with him at the very least. Him and his family were awesome. Their kids are adorable. That was such a fun start to our vacation. I loved it. It was a great time.
Have we ever tried skiing? Have you ever skied?
I snowboarded more than skied. I didn't do either well. I'm more of a water sport person. Like
Yeah,
I could
me
wakeboard, but I really struggle with snow sports.
Yeah, I tried it a little bit when I just saw like if somebody asked if we ever tried skiing like Foresty Forest, and I was like, I did try it back when I was much younger, like in my teens, and I thought I would be good at snowboarding because I was really big in the skateboarding at that point in time, which I found that the two didn't overlap as much as I thought they would, and I found myself on my ass a lot.
Yeah.
But I actually found I was better at skiing, but it just didn't lock in with me.
Yeah, I tried it like in high school and stuff because I actually grew up near Lake Tahoe, but I much preferred water sports.
Yeah,
so.
I grew up on lakes, and most of what I did was like kneeboarding, slalom skiing, that kind of stuff. More water sports for me as well.
I would say the most snow stuff I do really is I do have snowshoes, so I go hiking in the snow.
Yeah,
we haven't
that's
really
fun.
done that.
Yeah, we haven't done that. I need a new pair. I have a pair, but they're in tough shape. I need a new pair, but we should do that. We should do this. Yeah.
Yeah, so that is fun for sure. But yeah, so long roundabout answer. Alaska, hopefully next summer, we're gonna make it happen.
Yeah, I think that's one of the things that's one of the things that we were kind of hoping that we can figure out a rig situation prior to doing that, because one of the challenges for me when we're driving around in two rigs is we don't get to hang out and talk with each other. We do talk a little bit because we have radios, but that's not the same as just having a conversation with the person in the front seat with you. Yeah. But it's also like we're spending double the gas. We have, it's burning double the tires. I'm really hoping by the time that we are ready to do Alaska, we'll be in something that will be good for doing that in.
Yeah, I was just noticing the Beard Chicken and the Dude said, love meeting you two at Overland Expo in Flagstaff. Hope you guys enjoy the barbecue rubs. We eat it all the time.
We eat it all the time.
It's in my drawer right here.
Yes. Yes,
right here.
I'm glad that you commented because
thank you. This is so good. Okay, little plug here for everybody. This guy's stuff is so good. We cook with this all the stinking time.
Yeah, I'm in her van, but it's in mine, and I use it. I use it all the time.
More.
Yeah, so we can get more. Exactly.
Yeah,
I love it. Yeah. No, this is legit love right here.
Yes,
I love
for sure.
It. Yeah.
We are big foodies. If you watch our stuff, we really like good. Do you see how excited we both got?
Yeah.
We're like, the barbecue rub.
Yeah. As soon as I was like, oh, the barbecue rubs, I'm like, yes, this stuff is,
Exactly.
No, we love it. No, we legitimately both use it a lot. We make tacos with it. I've been making some other stuff. I add it to like ground beef, anything anything that I'm making with ground beef, I just dump that stuff all over it. Yeah.
Oh, people are asking what's the name of the seasoning. Hold on. So this is, he gave us a couple different ones, but this one's the One Rub Wonder. It's all-purpose seasoning blend. But it is so good. I'm telling you, this, like, we aren't earning any commissions on selling this. We just love it. It's good. But this is it right here. It's delicious. Yeah, you guys need to order this. It's so yummy. Okay.
But yeah, thanks, the bearded chicken dude. Yes, the bearded chicken dude. Love it. We love it.
Do you guys prank each other?
Do we prank each other? Well, I have something in the works.
What?
I'm just gonna leave it at that.
Okay. We have fun together. I will say that. Like, we throw each other off at different times. So
she's gonna be forever trying to figure out what I got going on.
I'm gonna be awake all night now.
But I do have a plan.
No, he's got a plan. Okay. But okay, reading more comments here. Hello from Virginia. That's so fun.
So Ken Schaefer, yes, we definitely plan to do some Montana traveling at some point. As it is right now, I think we kind of have on our radar is we're going to do some Idaho. Wyoming.
I've only done the Grand Tetons there twice. But
I've never been to Wyoming, and I want to. I've always wanted to, but I have not. So that'll be fun.
That's going to be our big one. And maybe if we can fit in Colorado before weather shifts.
Yeah.
I love to spend the fall in Colorado because of all the aspen leaves changing colors. And I've done that the last few years. So I would love to bring Jason out there. But it's a lot to do in a short amount of time. So we don't, that's the hard thing is we have so many places we want to go this fall. But for sure, Idaho and Wyoming is happening in September.
Yeah. The struggle is that honestly, I just feel like the fall is always just the best time to be high in the mountains, and it's beautiful, it's gorgeous, but there's only so many places you can go to and things that you can do during that time. And then also I have my fishing trip I do every year with my best friend and a few other good friends. One of them that is also here in this chat with us, or has been in this chat, Marshall. And it's also in the fall, and it's a week, but it's, again, that's because like everything seems to fall in the fall.
Yeah, it is hard. And summer months are just, we don't like to go to areas where there's a lot of people. It's harder to film, it's not as fun exploring, and then we have pets as well. So the spring and fall are our favorite times. But yeah, we're going to try that for September and beginning of October. So we're really excited about it. It's going to be, and I see that, Marshall, I may never come back from Wyoming either, because I think it's going to be pretty awesome.
So Kathleen Bestgrove, I believe, I think she's tried to ask us a couple times. She's wanting to know how long
together. So I would say, right?
Well, it's been longer than that.
Has it?
I think so.
Oh, well, we've been...
well, it's a little bit. So we started chatting. We started chatting in like
February-ish,
yeah, of 2022 or 2025.
2022. That's
2025. Not true. Yeah, 2025. Got my years all mixed up. But we didn't actually meet until June of 2025.
Yeah.
Right.
Last June, not this June. The year before. Yeah.
So it's been a little over. And so pretty close. Yeah, a little over a year that we've been together.
Yeah, and we met. I mean, we definitely were friends, and seeing where that would go, and we just clicked.
Yeah.
So.
Your phone.
I've clicks on my phone.
You're saying you had all your clicks on your phone.
Oh.
Anyways, but so it's been, I would say, like I said, we've been, chatting for probably a year and a half, but like knowing that we were enjoying and hanging out and together for a little over a year.
Yeah. And I would say, even when we met in that June, we hung out quite a lot then, but then I had plans and I went and did some things, you went and did some things. So it was kind of like spotty back and forth, but
Right.
we would, talk on the phone and FaceTime and stuff, and we always reconnect. So I think that's what is a strength of ours, is even if we go off and do our own thing, we always reconnect afterwards.
Right.
So.
Yeah. And that's kind of part of our lifestyle. And we talked about that or I talked about that in a video that I released a couple weeks ago, in the fact that, because we do live in vans, we do get to do a lot of things together, but we do get pulled in different directions from brands or other commitments and things like that. So, we don't always get to be together all the time.
Did you guys run background checks on each other? Maybe. No, we probably should, but you think, oh, that's so weird. You're meeting somebody that lives in a van. But the reality is, I don't think it's weird, because I've met so many people in this life and that do the same lifestyle. It's kind of like if you go meet somebody on a first date and they live in a house. It's just where they live. That part doesn't matter to me. Now, red flags would be like if he didn't have any friends and he was always by himself, and but I've had him around my family. I've talked with his family. We've been around each other's friends. It's just worked. So yeah. But no background checks.
No background checks.
Maybe I should. Do you know of somebody I can reach out to about that? Just joking. Okay. Oh, it says waiting for your stream to go. Okay, yours is restreaming. Ross Monster makes... Okay, Backroads Nomad Official says Ross Monster makes a great adventure vehicle built on the F550. Pete and Carol from Epic Family Road Trip loved theirs. We actually looked at some Ross Monsters when we were in Flagstaff and in Oregon at the Overland Expo. And, I was just so picky about the builds. I don't know. They're nice. I just wasn't sold on that being the one necessarily.
Yeah, I mean, they are nice rigs, because I've actually been in their Ross Monster. They were at Epic Family Road Trip. They were at I don't remember what year, but the PNW, and they had just gotten it, and they gave me a little tour of it and everything. And they are cool rigs. I think my struggle with them, for me as a rig, for me, is I see the convenience and the idea of having a pop-up roof, but I just don't. I just kind of want to be able to. I don't want to have to pop up the roof.
Yeah, I think we've just been in our own rigs for so long that we both know the things we really like, and I'm kind of that way. If I walk into something, and same thing with him, we walked into different rigs and we were immediately like, nope, or yeah, we like this and this. So I think just traveling as much as we have in our own, and then like if he comes over for dinner or if I'm watching a movie in his, we kind of just know what. Keep you guys in the loop on Grit and Glam Adventures on what's going on with that, for sure.
Yeah, because that's one of the things, I guess, on Grit and Glam Adventures that I think will be part of the story is, our search for a rig and what that's going to look like. Because we both do have a lot of experience living in vehicles and knowing what we like and what we don't like. And we see, I think in every rig we walk into, we see something that we like, but, trying to figure out how to put it all together into something that will work for us, that will be nimble, and comfortable. It's just going to take a little bit of effort and time to figure out.
Yeah. And the hard thing too is, as much as that sounds good, we both like our own space. So it's nice to have your own van to go back to.
Right.
For sure. So.
Well, and that brings us to another thing, though, is like we're not going to get rid of our vans.
Yes, that is a good point. We will never get rid of our vans. Like I have one of the original Nuvo vans, and it's very sentimental. My van is paid off, just like Jason's is paid off. He's built it from scratch.
Yeah, mine is. Mine. I mean, for those that haven't followed me with that long, I mean, mine came from nothing. Like it was literally, I think, one tire out of the junkyard when I got it, and I put so much of my heart and soul, and it's been and not only that, but I've learned so much about fabricating and building things and stuff like that from this whole thing that, like, I just couldn't imagine ever like letting Sasquatch go.
Yeah.
So
I've had a few people ask about your family. Do you have kids?
I have been.
I know I was gonna say Jason's kid is his dog. Ben is very well loved. So I would say as close as you are to Ben, I am to my children. But
yeah, Ben is I've always had dogs. No, I don't have any like human kids or anything like that.
who says it that way? Usually they say they don't have any kids.
I have
don't
no
have any
man-child.
I don't have any human children.
I have no man-child.
I can't with this guy sometimes. No, Jason does not have children. He has a pet that he loves as much as a child. Does Ben ever? I don't know what that means.
Does Ben ever
snitch
snitch on Jason? No, but he does snitch on Apollo all the time.
He does. He totally tattletales. We'll be at my parents' house, and Apollo is in my parents' office and messing around with stuff on the desk. And Ben comes out carrying the stuff that Apollo has knocked off on the ground and totally tattletales on Apollo to get him in trouble. Like he's afraid that Apollo's going to get in trouble, so he wants to tell it himself first. But it's kind of funny anyway. Okay.
So Black Dog Adventure says he broke his hand at a Proxy Falls.
Oh yeah, we did go to Proxy Falls.
Yeah, that's a little difficult area to traverse around. There's a lot of like wet rocks and logs down. You're scrambling over things.
I know.
And for those that don't know, we did videos there, or you did video there.
Did you film anything?
I can't remember if I did.
I think you took Patreon photos.
I think I took Patreon photos.
Yeah, I did a video on Proxy Falls. That was actually really fun. I enjoyed that a lot. And then we also hiked into Linton Lake, and that's in Oregon. If you didn't see that episode, anyway. Okay, I agree. My husband and I have been married 20 years, and we have to have our own space, alone time. I have a she shed. He has a man cave. That's what I feel like our vans are. This is my she shed.
Yeah, this will be your she shed. That will be my man cave, and then we'll have like some adventure rig, and by the end of the adventure, we'll be like running towards our she shed and man cave.
And congrats on the 20 years, Irene. That's pretty awesome. That's a long time.
That is a great.
Yeah, congrats on that.
That is great.
Favorite coffee? Somebody's asked that a few times.
Okay, so I mean, I'm not gonna call myself out because I should say my coffee is my favorite coffee, which it is a good coffee. I really, the supplier I have does a great job at doing it. But we recently ran across, and unless you live in Prineville, you're probably never gonna find it. But if you go into the Erickson Thriftway, they have this coffee. They have a Smith Rock coffee. And we really like that.
It.
Yeah, it was it's expensive. It's kind of really expensive, but it was extremely good.
It's our favorite one. I would drive to Oregon just to get that coffee, honestly. I did a whole episode. I took Ben and Apollo by myself to Smith Rock, and we did some hiking there, and that place was amazing. I loved it. I would love to go back and hike Misery Ridge. But I wanted to buy that coffee when I saw it and film like making coffee at Smith Rock, and it was it was so good.
I have to say, Sarah in Tank Girl, she says, I call my rig the Rolling Bitch Barn.
That's awesome. That's a good name. That's funny.
That is funny. It made me laugh.
That's awesome. Do you ever go to a little ice cream shop in Prineville? I'm not going to say where it is because
wait.
They took it away. Shop? We did have a soft serve cone in Prineville. What was it? Not Snowcap.
No, it's not Snowcap.
Sisters. That's my favorite ice cream in Oregon. Oh, and we do have an episode coming out of the biggest ice cream cone in Oregon.
Yeah, it's got to be no, is that on Grim Glam?
That was our last episode.
Oh, okay, yeah. Okay, yes, it was on, yeah.
So just wait till you see the ice cream cone that Jason gets.
Yeah. For whatever reason, I was thinking that was on your channel.
Oh.
Strangest food combinations.
Kipper snacks.
Well, that's not a food combination.
No, that's not a food combination. I eat a lot of pickles. I don't know why. I eat a ton of pickles.
Yeah, but that's not a food combination. He wants to know like a food and another food that kind of don't really go together. Like, So I've been eating lately. So back to the guy that we were talking about with the great rub, I've been taking hamburger, smothering it with his rub, and then, which is kind of like, I don't want to say it's taco seasoning because that simplifies it, but
It's
it's
like an
a,
all seasoning.
yeah, but it gives it more of a kind of like it's great as a taco seasoning. Like if you wanted to make tacos with it, it would be super great doing it this way. But then I put like green beans and then I put in some powdered mashed potatoes, and then I put on some sriracha on top of that. And that's been so yummy. I've been really enjoying it.
Oh yeah. Okay. It's called Dad Bod Snacks Habanero Heat Chips. These are addicting. These are so good.
Yeah.
You want
Well,
to try one? You haven't had any yet.
I did have one actually. You just didn't watch me.
Oh,
I snuck one in.
what'd you think?
It was good. Yeah, they are really good.
These ones are delicious. Sorry for being rude, but we haven't had dinner yet.
Yeah,
So this
no
is
dinner
kind of
yet.
like this is a nice little treat. Okay, I see the peanut butter and pickle is good. I have not tried that. I have to try that, Courtney, because that sounds delicious.
Well, that's Tourist Canada that said peanut butter and pickles.
That's good.
I've not tried that, but I mean,
Oh,
I like
Sarah
pickles and I
said
like
that,
peanut
yeah.
butter. Yeah.
Oh, Tourist said that. Okay.
Have I never ever been to Amish country? I have not.
Amish country.
Amish.
We are the worst
Tomato,
at pronouncing
tomato.
things. Both of us pronounce words so wrong. I've been to Amish country. I visited Ohio.
Hold back on those chips.
I'm not holding back on the chips. You're just busy reading comments. And I got to see them in buggies in their little community, and that was really cool. Yeah, enjoyed that.
What's a fun question on your channel?
Hi from Corsica. Where is that at? Okay, Marshall says, was Smith so busy it wasn't enjoyable? Actually, Smith Rock was not super busy when I went. Oh, somebody wants to know the rub brand. Bring it out again because we've talked about this a few times now.
This isn't about our new channel. This is about this rub that we got.
The rub and these really good chips.
So we should probably put a little context. So we were at the expo, and they came up and chatted and said they knew the channel, and it's a homemade rub that he makes.
Yeah, it's a homemade rub. It's called Craig's Bearded Blends. So very good. Okay, oh, Corsica is a French island. That's so cool. Well, thank you for watching from there. That's really fun.
Shoe fly pie from Amish is great. Well, I like pie. That's definitely always a winner for me.
From Amish. Amish. We would have a van. That's a good question. Ken is asking us if we could have a van and buy a small house or industrial condo for a shop that you could also park the van in, which one would you choose?
Well, I know my choice.
What? Oh, I'm not going to give it all away, but I have shared that I have been looking at doing some kind of a home base, and I would love to have a shop attached to that home base for doing a build and repairs on the van. So that is something that is a little in the works, and that's all that I'll share about it right now.
But I mean, if I had my choice, I'd love to have a shop on like kind of a more remote piece of property. Not so remote that like getting parts and stuff is just going to be a super pain in the butt, but not in town. Like my shop right now is like right in town, and that's good and bad. But I do want a shop that like I can fit my van in so I can work on it inside, because having to work on it outside is a pain because it's either super hot or it's raining. You know, rarely do you got perfect days that it's nice to work on it outside. But but then I would like to have like a carport on the side that when I'm not working on the van, it could be in, and then I could stay in the van while I'm maybe working on another project.
Okay, so I just had somebody join that says, "Hi from camping at the North Sea in Germany. I usually do not appreciate being woken up by a cat throwing up at 4 a.m., but at least I made it to your live stream." Well, I'm glad that you made it, and Germany is very cool. That's actually somewhere I've always wanted to visit. I would love to visit Germany and Switzerland one day.
Did you know I was born in Germany?
I did. Yeah, that's right. That's a fun fact. I forgot. Well, there you go. Jason was born in Germany, so maybe that's why I like it. No, it's yeah, always been on my list to go there sometime. So thank you for joining. I appreciate that.
I don't remember anything. My dad was in the military.
It is good.
I don't know. It's just some random thing I found at the grocery store in the local town here.
La Mexicana. Somebody just said, "I'm going to have to eat Live Today Wonderful. I'm going to have to eat chips and salsa now." Thank you. You're welcome. It's actually so good right now.
When is chips and salsa? Yeah. When is chips and salsa never a bad idea?
If you have bad salsa, it's just not. But good salsa really makes it.
Yeah. This is good salsa. Create one. I don't know how to multitask. Well, sometimes I don't either.
Check your messenger. Okay. Have you two ever visited, how do you say this, Lake, I'm going to pronounce it wrong, Chelan in Washington?
Oh, Lake Chelan?
Chelan. I have not. Yeah, have you?
No, I don't think so. I used to live in Washington. I mean, I'm I'm familiar with that. Lake Chelan was a really, I have no memories of ever going there though.
What part of Washington is it in?
I think it's in eastern Washington.
Okay. No, we haven't been there. We did a lot of lakes, but we did not do that one. So, is this live interesting to you guys? Because I feel like it's weird. We're just sitting here eating chips and salsa and answering random questions.
So for my Washington people, I did grow up in Washington for most of my younger life, and for the person who asked me if I've ever been to Lake Chelan, I don't think I ever have. I don't have any really memory of that. But I grew up on Lake Cushman, kind of, in my early to late teens. And I actually graduated high school from Shelton, Washington.
Okay. Somebody else from Canada. British Columbia, Canada. Come up to Vancouver Island. You will love it. Thank you, Dennis. Yeah, we actually, next summer, the plan is to do Canada and Alaska. So we'll keep you guys in the loop on that. But I've really wanted to go up that way. Okay. I missed you two talking about your new channel. Do you mind talking about what you want to do with it? That's a great question.
That is a good question, because we should talk about the new channel a little bit more, because we haven't talked about it a little bit.
Yeah, we haven't. So,
and there's new people, I'm sure, that have popped on. So
we'll share a little bit about it. So I've had my channel for 1.5 years, and Jason has had his channel for 13 years. And we both have done a lot of solo travel. Well, when we met with each other as much, we wanted to see where things were going first before going together. It just became a natural thing for me to show him on my channel and vice versa. But the problem is that it really started to change our channels from what they were originally. And a big part of that is we started not liking to film together or go places together because we're both trying to film the same things with cameras. And so we felt like we were creating my perspective on my channel, his perspective of the same thing on his channel. And we really had gotten away from what our channels were. And so the thought behind Grit and Glam Adventures is it will be sharing our joint adventures together, while our individual channels will really focus on our solo travels. And, you know, he'll be making an appearance here and there in mine, but it will be a different style of content on top of each other with that. But then just do our everyday life. And so life changes and seasons change, and we're in a season where we've been together for a while. And so we just want to share that.
Yeah, I mean, and that's, she made a lot of good points there. And like I said, it just was kind of Grit and Glam. We're really hoping that since we'll be building an audience that will like our adventures of us together, that we will no longer be like, this is not Primal Outdoors content. This is not Beth Midlife Adventure content. This is Grit and Glam content, and the people that come to Grit and Glam will like this, and it will make it more fun, I think, to edit and film. Because for me, one of the struggles I had always had was like, this isn't, I'm not really doing like Primal Outdoors type stuff. So then I wouldn't really film. I wouldn't really like editing it. And then it would also just kind of put a taint a little bit on the adventure itself, because you kind of got this in the back of your head. Because in the end, as much as we like making content and as much as we like doing this is a job, and we got to make sure that, we're delivering, what people expect. And that's where I think we were having a little bit of a clash. So the idea for me with Grit and Glam personally is to have a channel that I don't have to feel that way, that this is the content that people are expecting. And so that makes it more fun for us to do the adventures, and it makes it more fun for us to film them, and more fun for us to edit them.
Yeah, and I think one thing that was hard too for me is a lot of my subscribers were watching originally my channel because they loved seeing solo female and me doing doing things on my own. And it was inspiring for others just to get out there and start that too. And then as I started traveling with Jason more and showing that kind of was taking that away. And, I would get a lot of comments on some of my solo videos of like, well, you're not really alone. You're with some guy now. And the reality is, if we say we're solo, we really are solo during that time.
Yeah.
But for the stuff that we showed together, we just felt like, we've worked so hard to build our channels, and I haven't had mine nearly as long as Jason, but I've worked my butt off for the last year and a half, and I'm really proud of where it's at. So I don't want to give that up, and I want to continue to inspire other people to travel on their own, female and male. And I know that he does a lot of amazing things on his channel, just his cinematography and his storytelling that his subscribers love. So neither one of us want to lose that, but we also know we have something pretty special together too. And so we're going to see where that might take us.
Yeah. Yeah, I think I'm excited about Grit and Glam. I think that like it's going to open up new opportunities for me to, because sometimes I do get burnt out doing a lot of the same things that I've done on Primal Outdoors for so many years, and this kind of opens up a whole new level. And it's again, like we talked about, like experiences being shared. Like even when back when I would do, for my Primal Outdoors fans, when I would do videos with Donald, like those are so much more fun to film because you got somebody there. You're not just sitting there talking to a camera. And in my mind, I try to remember that I'm talking to you guys, but it's still just different. And it brings out like my personality, I think, much better when I'm with Beth or when I'm with somebody, because I realize I'm actually talking to somebody real, and I'm not just looking at a camera, like concerned about like, is this a Primal Outdoors video? Is this a Beth Midlife Adventure video? No, this is a Grit and Glam video, and this is exactly the way it needs to be,
Yeah, and I think that was, something, it's important to stay true to who we each were on our own individual channels, but the reality is things change in life. You meet people, things happen, and we wanted to share that. We didn't want to keep our real lives from our subscribers. We want to be authentic in what we're sharing. And so, if I just continue to be a solo female traveler and never talk about having a boyfriend now, or us traveling together, then that's not being real. So, yeah.
So hold on a second here. I have somebody on my feed. I'm gonna have to hide and delete their comment. It's Clifford Overland.
Scott.
Wanting to know how it feels that I have to call him Scotty Big Fish all year long. So for those, little side note for Primal Outdoors fans, and I'm sorry for Beth's channel because you guys probably have no idea, but Scott is my best friend, and we have a annual fishing trip that we do yearly that happens in the fall, and whoever catches the biggest bass gets to be the big fish winner. So what it means is that, so I do want to point out for the first 2 years, I was the winner. And so every time he would call me on the phone, he would have to say Jason Big Fish, and I would call him Scotty Little Fish. Well, last year Scott won. And so all year this year, I've had to call him. When I call him, I have to say, "Hey, Scotty Big Fish." And he's like, "Hello, it's Jason Little Fish." So
Can
I'm
I?
really hoping that this next year, that as we come into this next year, that we can get this back on to the proper track and make sure that he has to call me Jason Big Fish next year.
Well, can I point out for the record, Jason's competitiveness? He had to mention that he's been the big fish for the last 2 years first, and now Scott is big fish.
Yeah.
So
I
no,
mean,
we're not competitive at all.
yeah,
That's
no.
I don't know how that comes
I just
out.
want to make sure that he knows that this is a very temporary thing for him.
Oh, okay.
And, yeah, I just
That's awesome. I was reading a couple others. Oh, I was gonna say, I love that. At Epola's 1978 said that I inspired her to travel alone, or inspired you. Sorry, I'm not sure. I love that. Congratulations. It took a while for me to be brave enough to do it on my own too. So that's a huge step. And I'm glad that you are doing that, because I feel like whether you're with somebody or not, you should be able to do the things that you want to do in life and not miss out on them. So that's awesome. But anyways, you're stuck on the big fish still.
no, I know. I'm
I
watching.
know.
I know Scott and Marshall are like talking.
They're
And
just going
Marshall
back
said
and
he's
forth.
gonna cheat and stick a dumbbell in his fish's
Okay. Oh,
mouth.
here's a good question. How did Ben and Apollo do together at first? Frankie is asking us this question. Well, I would say so. Apollo is actually used to dogs more than cats. I had two beagles before, and when he was a kitten, he grew up around those. So Ben, he's done really, really good with Ben. The hard thing is that Ben is a puppy. My beagles were older and just kind of a little bit more reserved. Next. And they would wrestle around every morning and things, and they would sleep together and be all cuddled up. Well, Ben is a puppy, so he wants to play like Apollo's a dog. And I would say it was a rough start, but they're a lot better now. Apollo just likes to let Ben know what his personal boundaries are. And there's batting and a little bit of hissing, but they do like each other at first, and then it's like, okay, we need our own corner.
Well, and I think Ben's gotten a little bit more because like Ben was like fixated on Apollo in the
Yeah.
very beginning.
He
Like
was.
this is my best friend. This is my very best friend ever. He's like gonna be my best friend
Forever and ever.
But now, like you can see, like they were used to each other. Apollo is in the front seat over here. Ben sacked out over here. But like when we first met, like I called it gargoyle mode because Ben would just stare at Apollo and like his eyes wouldn't blink. He wouldn't move. Like not even a twitch of a muscle would happen. Like he would just
Stare like a statue.
and like he would stay fixated like that for hours, and now it's kind of like and even if Apollo's outside and doing stuff, when first Apollo started going outside more, Ben was just like all over him and like,
He
oh my
likes
god,
to herd him.
yeah.
He'll
And
herd
now
him.
when Apollo goes outside, Ben's like he'll play with him a little bit and then he'll go off and kind of do his own thing. So they've just gotten very used to each other. But I will say that like when we've been apart from each other, like when Ben first comes in the van, like Apollo seems legitimately excited to see him.
We tease that sometimes our personalities are like Ben and Apollo a little bit with stuff. Sometimes I need my own space, but then I'm really excited to see him again too. Oh.
Well, thank you, the Black Dog. I thank you very much for that. I really appreciate it.
And then you travel with two cats, Mr. Darcy and Lady Twinkletoe. That's amazing. I love that you have two cats. I actually would love to get a kitten. We almost rescued a kitten together. Well, it was more me almost rescued it. Jason was like, no, I don't want to do this. But we were at the dump and there was a mama cat with some kittens, and I really wanted to take one home with me. But at the same time, it was way too much work in the moment for what we had going on, and trying to train a kitten in the van would be a little hard. So I've not pulled a trigger on that, but I would love to have one more cat and get a kitten to where I can train it being a van cat from the beginning. I think Apollo would have a hard time with that, so I have waited on that. But
well, you just spent some time at your son, and he just got 2 new kittens, and I guess that wasn't quite the smoothest.
It didn't go super well. We'll just say that. There's a lot of hissing involved. And says in Germany, a lot of people travel with dogs, but not cats. Okay. That's true. I would say with van life too, there are people that travel with cats. My good friends, Britt and Neil, they travel with their 2 cats. But 99% of the time, the people that I meet on the road have a dog. So.
You met a nice guy this weekend that had a cat.
How is your memory so good and fast with that stuff? No, I had a strange encounter with a man with his cat, so Jason gives me a hard time about that.
He was also living in a white ProMaster. I just want to point that out.
But yeah, it was a strange encounter. I feel like I need to tell the story now.
Yeah. Why don't you tell the story? I'm going to step outside for a second.
Okay, all right. So I was camping, and this older guy comes up to the front of my van, and he's like, so I just want to let you know that find out, I see you have a cat. I have a cat. Is yours a male or a female? And I'm just there by myself, and I'm like, oh, I have a male cat. And he's like, well, that's a problem because I have a male cat and he doesn't get along with other cats. And I said, I think it's okay because Apollo, my cat, is on a leash and he's just staying right here. And so anyways, they're like, okay, we'll work that out between us, and I'll try to keep my cat out of your camp. And it was just interesting. So, but anyways, okay, I'm trying to look between both comments right now of everything going on. Black Dog Adventures, yes, you should send Jason a bottle of your favorite whiskey. He would really like that a lot. Yeah, my sister just gave him some. I used to be a whiskey drinker, and I don't anymore. I just don't do hard alcohol anymore. But yeah. Anyways, so many questions, and it's hard to know what to respond to on some of these. That's awesome, Faye, that you are a full-time van lifer and you have your cat Abby with you. I'm glad she's adjusting. It takes a little bit for them to adjust, so.
Squeeze them back in.
But anyways, yep, I told Black Dog Adventure, they said they would love to send you a bottle of your favorite whiskey, and I said they should do that.
Yeah, I always never say no to a bottle of whiskey. In fact, I mean, since we're talking about it.
It's behind your computer. Oh. I was just trying to make sure you're on my video.
Beth's sister gave me a bottle. Actually, it was her and her husband gave me this bottle. It is Frey Ranch, and it has been tasty.
Mm-hmm. Good for you. But yeah. So what does Apollo do? Awake most of the night. You know, Apollo struggled when we first started van life with going to sleep at night, but now he sleeps all night long, unless he's throwing up or catching a mouse. He's pretty good. So DM 8573 says, hi from North Carolina. I'm so happy for you. Oops, your stuff went away.
I know.
I mean your comments. Oh.
I know. I wanted to check to see how Grit and Glam was doing.
How's it doing?
It is at 2,310 subscribers now.
Woo! It's done good.
Yeah, that is very good. I'm very happy with the launch and everybody who has taken the time to watch the new videos and subscribe and be a part of this new adventure. I hope it's, like I said, I just hope it continues to grow and gets only better from here. But yeah, I'm going to go back over. I just wanted to see how things were going since we've been on and we've been talking about it a little bit.
Yeah,
and
that's good.
Yeah, I mean, this is exciting for both Beth and I to do something like this, and scary at the same time. Like I said, you know, you're used to doing your own channels, you're used to doing things exactly your own way, and you know, kind of doing things together has been fun. Actually, I mean, there's been some challenges here and there as we figure some things out and learn some things, but we're getting. I feel like we are getting in a better groove. Yeah.
I know somebody asked a little bit about editing and post. I think a hard thing is we both use different software for our editing. I use DaVinci Resolve. Jason uses, why am I forgetting it?
I use Final Cut Pro.
Final Cut Pro. And so it is hard. And we also use 2 different music subscriptions. So we're trying to like find a feel for Grit and Glam that feels very different from our individual channels. But that also, I don't know, that also, it's hard to just find something and create it right away. And what we talk about is we need to give ourselves a little bit of grace, because when we both started our own channels, they were all over the place. And
Right.
it took us a while to get there. But I think for me, especially, both of us are perfectionists in the fact of like, we want it to be really good. And we both feel like, okay, we've done YouTube for a little while now. We should have like a really great channel from the start. But we're figuring it out. So
Yeah.
it's going to take some time, I think.
Yeah. And I think that's the whole thing is that's how I kind of felt is like, I've been editing and creating content for so long that I felt like, oh, okay, this should be like a no-brainer that we're going to start a new channel and these videos are going to be great. But I've been doing it my way for so long, and you'd been doing it your way for so long. So we're just trying to kind of work that out. And I think once we do start figuring out some of the little kinks, which I feel like even from now moving forward, I'm so happy with the way the first 3 episodes came out that, and then I think we started getting a better groove as we moved along into 4, 5, and 6. I'm really, crossing my fingers that 4, 5, and 6 are going to be really good episodes, and a couple more episodes shot while we're here in Northern California.
Faye is asking what's our new channel called. It is called Grit and Glam Adventures.
Yes.
So if you type in at Grit and Glam Adventures, you'll find it. It's our amazing faces smiling there.
Right.
And we have 3 episodes out. So I hope that you enjoy watching them.
Yeah, when you're searching for it, that's one thing is it's at Grit and Glam Adventures. It's all one word. So like put it in like a Instagram handle or something like that into YouTube, and it should pop right up.
Okay, so we have people joining from Minnesota and from Pennsylvania. That's so cool. And then someone saying, do I still have a house or a flat, or is it just the van? So I am originally from Northern California, and I sold my house and I lived in a rental for 3 years while I owned my van, and I would do weekend trips. I did a sabbatical from work for a few months and did some traveling, and then gave up my rental and just went full-time in the van. So as of right now, I do not have a house or anywhere else. I would say my home base is in Nevada because I have family and my parents live there. But I am actively looking at doing a small home base somewhere with some kind of a shop on it for van repairs. But even with the home base, I still will be traveling full time. Just will be nice to have a landing spot and for my kids to come visit me there. Oh, hi from Florida. Hello. That's fun. I was in Florida in January and it was cold. There was like an ice storm in Florida when I was there for the RV. You watched Apollo like out.
We got somebody from Philadelphia. Yeah, it's always neat to kind of see how, like, I think that was one of the fun things for me when I first started YouTube was just making connections with people around the world and communicating with people. And I think that was where YouTube really kind of, got a hold of me, is just like being able to, you made videos and stuff like that, and that was fun. But then you were, like meeting people you would have never met, before.
No,
so
totally. Someone's asking here, Sarah is asking, Beth, do you still work part or full-time on the road? So when I left California 2 years ago, I actually had quit my job at that point. I had been doing Instagram for 2.5 years. If I like just lived very, very simply. And then about 3 months of being full-time on the road, I had some friends that were doing YouTube. And so I thought, I was feeling a little burnt out from Instagram and wanting to create something more long form and creative for myself. And so I started YouTube. And so I do content creation full-time, and that supports my lifestyle.
I do want to say something. So Black Dog Adventures, I see you, and I still want to do what we talked about as far as the Tan Gladiator. If that cat's not out of the bag, but we'll chat about that later. But when I get back to the shop, and then also we have somebody for Harry from the Netherlands. We have somebody from the Netherlands.
If you guys have seen Jason's new build in his van, he actually put in a projector screen and did a little lift bed like that goes into couch mode. So, and he did that kind of to surprise me because we were traveling in the Nuvo brand Mercedes. I had taken that out and they had the projector in there with the lift bed that kind of tilted up, and I loved it. And so when I was back in California and he was working on renovating his van, he actually put that in his van and surprised me, and we did a movie night, and it was really fun. And we do a lot of movie nights.
Yeah. It's been like our new favorite thing is we watch
Bonanza.
lots of Bonanza. We've been watching tons of Bonanza.
Yeah.
It's like our way to unwind at the end of the night. And yeah, it's just nice because you got the projector screen and it's comfortable and it's just a great way to kind of enjoy and kind of relax.
We really got into the westerns after traveling to Alabama Hills, California, and it was just fun to see where they made so many of the westerns. So we started watching like some old John Wayne movies and Clint Eastwood, and now we're on a Bonanza kick. So every night about 7-8 o'clock, it's like time for a Bonanza episode.
Yeah. So back roads Gypsy Trail, will we ever do a meet and greet? And so I have done some stuff with my patrons where I do some camp outs through my Patreon, but I'm sure as we continue to grow the Glit and Graham she gives me a hard time all the time because I always get it wrong. But Grit and Glam Adventures, as we continue to do that, we will probably figure out something at some point to do some kind of meet and greets in some way or shape or form. So we'll figure that out.
I would enjoy that for sure. I'm going to just quickly answer a couple people that are new jumping on from Oregon, South Carolina. People are asking, like, are we going to travel in one vehicle or continue traveling separately? We've shared that we will both keep our own vans, and we are traveling separately currently. The goal is one day to have a joint rig that we can do travels in, but still have our own vans for solo travel as well. So, but thanks. You two are great together. SVS Globe. Oh, that's so fun. Thank you guys. I think those are our friends from Overland. Is that SVS Globe? Is that who I'm thinking of from Overland?
Maybe. I think maybe. I don't know.
I think so. Okay, I don't know.
So
yes, thank you so much.
eCarb says our acronyms could be GGA, which is better than when I saw somebody made a comment on one of our videos that are, because technically it would be GAGA, which would be Gaga.
Gaga.
And I was like, didn't really think that through.
Oh, did we figure out, Michael is asking, did we figure out who is Grit and Glam yet? That's a hard one.
Yeah.
Yeah, what do you think? I will just say, have you seen our vans? The differences of our vans. His van is amazing. It's definitely his style. That's all I'll say. But
her van is amazing. It's definitely her style.
Exactly. See, but it works somehow between the two.
Yeah, I mean, like I said, we were talking about the movie nights and stuff like that, and that's kind of the funny thing is we do different things in different vans. So as far as like games, eating dinner, a lot we'll do in her van. Though funny enough, a lot of times we'll cook in my van because she has an induction burner, and if she's really low on battery, then I'll cook in my van because I'm on propane for my cooker. And so we just find ways to kind of mix and match, and which has kind of helped us going back to what we would want in a rig, is kind of figuring out, okay, this is what we love about your van, this is what we love about my van, and and we want to just kind of figure out how to put all those pieces together.
Yeah, especially with two pets. It gets small very quickly. My van has like a dining seating area, which is where we currently are seating. Right now it's turned into like a bench, but it has a nice big table so we can work at it. Yeah. We like to have games. We play Rummikub a lot. That's like one of our favorite games. Yeah. And so it's nice to do that and have a space, especially when the weather's bad. It's nice to have a seating area inside, because really his only seating inside in his van is on his bed area if it's turned into a couch or his front seat is turned around. So it just gives us more options right now. Oh, that's a good question.
Yeah, so William Hagen 67, are we going to build it ourselves or have somebody do it for you? Well, that's probably a little bit where we mix a little bit, because of course Sasquatch, my van, I didn't build all of it. I had a lot of people, but I learned so much through the process of it that I would love to build something from scratch myself. There's a lot of things that I did build myself in Sasquatch, but there are some things that I had done. And so I'm of course, I come from the idea of like, let's go find something in the junkyard and turn it into something. And that's probably the difference in the grit and the glam a little bit. Beth is like, no.
I've just seen his van broke down so many times. It scares me a little bit. I think it would be good to have a combination of both. Like to have part of it. I would love to work with a sponsor or a company that helped us with part of it, but I do think a lot of the interior is something that we should do ourselves because we know what we want specifically. But I am always about partnering up with a different company to help us achieve some of that too.
Right.
So.
I'm okay with partnering up with the right companies. I mean, obviously partnered up with companies on the build of Sasquatch to get it to where it was at. And, you know, yeah, I want to be thoughtful in that, in the right companies.
Correct.
And the ones that are going, to be able, that have a product that I would stand behind, in the first place. Like I already talked about a lot earlier in this, because we've probably been at this for quite some time. I don't know if there's a timer somewhere where we've been at this, but
7:49.
I talked about like something that's probably really important to me, and like, when they asked if we were going to do a van, most likely we are not going to do a van. So that's probably the first thing. Now, when I say that, there is an option where I would look at a van cab chassis. And there is some builds I saw at Expo that really appealed to me. In fact, I did a video on one of them, the Globe Trekker build, that was, the base of that vehicle was what I really liked. I would want to do some changes and make it our own, but I like the idea of the van chassis, just because, again, Beth talked about it earlier. Something that's really important to us is a big pass through, something that we can easily move from the front seats right into the living space. Once you've lived in a van for a while, that for me, that's just not something I feel like I'm wanting to give up. The fact that I can drive somewhere, and if the weather is just horrible, I can roll into a campsite, I can climb out of my front seat, get right into the habitat. It's already warm. I can cook a meal. I can go to bed. I never even have to open a door. I don't have to set anything up. I don't have to get out of the vehicle. And that's just something that's really important, not only for me as far as wanting those conveniences, but also just so that the animals can move back and forth as well, and have that freedom. So that's why a van chassis, not necessarily a van, but like a cutaway or a cab chassis type is very appealing. Now, I have seen in all my squirreling and looking at things, I have seen an F550 or I don't know if it was an F550 or a 450, but I did see one with a really nice pass-through, which I typically don't see in those builds. Most of those, the pass-through is like a wormhole. It's like for necessity only. Like if you were, being attacked by alien invaders or something like that you could get into if you needed to. But as a really usable thing, it's just not really a deal. But yeah. So anyways, that's a lot to say.
Yeah. Couple quick questions. Okay, so first of all, it is our friends from P&W that are on there. I thought I recognized your tagline. Michael was asking if you're wanting to get started with doing a truck or van camping, what's one tip or advice I would give you? I would say to start off somewhere that you're comfortable staying. When I first started doing this, I actually stayed in campgrounds quite a lot. And then it was about a year of doing some different ones that I felt really comfortable doing off-grid camping as well. But I would say try to take a trip for an extended period of time. It helps you really get to know your vehicle a lot and what it's capable of, what you might want to upgrade or what you don't really need. But I would just say go somewhere you're comfortable first and just kind of play with it.
Yeah.
And then somebody else is asking if I am going to upgrade to the Nuvo Sprinter for my ProMaster. So I took out the Nuvo Sprinter and I absolutely loved it. My hard things were, as much as I love the Mercedes, the expense of the maintenance on a Mercedes is just something I can't justify right now. I'm not saying that's a never situation for me, but just currently I am sticking with my ProMaster, but I love taking out the Nuvo vans when they're available. So we had a lot of fun in Mammoth with that. It was good.
And I will say, you know, my friend Chad with Living the Van Life, he's got a Sprinter, and I mean, he's put that thing through the ringer. I mean, they're very capable vehicles for sure. It's just my struggle with them is like being so used to Sasquatch, something that I can work on. Like, it doesn't require any special equipment or computers. It's just fairly easy. The Sprinter and their maintenance, it's like you got to take it to a Sprinter dealership. You got to, you know, there's just a lot of kind of things that go on there that I don't like. And if for a vehicle that I want to use and take out into remote areas, I just want to know, like, for example, I'm going to be sharing a video with my subscribers here very soon of an issue I had with my van that, you know, and just the ability to be able to figure out ways to resolve the issue in the field and get yourself to a point where you can get it fixed properly. But, you know, not to give the whole thing away, but let's just say my rear axle wasn't where it was supposed to be anymore.
Yeah, very true. Flipper got on. Michelle, thank you for watching my channel. You said it's one of your favorites and you watch me on your big screen. I love that. Thank you so much. Flipper, no, the live stream is not going to be a regular occurrence. I may jump on every once in a while to do a live. This is my first one. But for our Grit and Glam Adventures new channel, we are going to be doing weekly episodes. And it's not set in stone, but we plan to release videos on Saturday mornings at 6 a.m. So not tomorrow morning, since we did 3 yesterday, but the following Saturday, next week, we will be putting out another video. But we definitely, I think I'll do lives every once in a while to help answer questions. And it's kind of fun just to kind of chat live with you guys instead of reading comments later. But really, really appreciate all the love and support on my channel. I know Jason feels the same way on his. And just those of you that are interested in our new one, we love that you guys are wanting to join us on that too. So thank you. Michael is asking, I think a few people have asked if you're still building the bus. I'm going to let you handle this on both for a minute, okay? I'll be right back.
Okay. So the bus is something that I continue to dabble in, but I don't see it necessarily being the rig for Beth and I. I'm not sure what I want to do with the bus yet. I got it for such a screaming deal. You know, it's just... and then Casey Liddell, for many of you that, you know, follow my channel and, you know, maybe know of his YouTube channel, like, he helped me out in a big way and brought it out, you know, because the challenge with this bus was these people had it for sale. They are out in the middle of a remote grid property out in the middle of nowhere. And it was broke down. And the price was reasonable for what the problem was, but the challenge was for these people is getting someone that was willing to pay the price, but then also willing to pay to have somebody come pull this thing out from where it was at, which was a bad place. But luckily, like I said, I had a card to pull, and you know, Casey Liddell helped me out in a big way on that, and he came out and we made videos about getting the bus, and of course there's just there's already videos on this on my channel, but just to kind of get people who don't know. And it's an old shuttle bus is basically what it is. And it is rough to look at. And it had a build in it to start with, but it had been completely destroyed by mice. And in fact, to the point that when I got the bus back, that, you know, I thought I already had it at a pretty good deal. But what I realized, I had it at a really good deal because a mouse had chewed a wire, and what they thought was going to be like a $5,000 repair ended up being me splicing one wire back together, and the bus started and ran perfectly. It runs, it drives, but it needs a serious amount of TLC and build work, and I can envision it, but at the same time, I still kind of feel like it's a bachelor mobile just because of the fact that, like we talked a little bit earlier, sorry for repeating for people who have already heard this, but it is a bus, and that means it has no passenger seat, so there's no really place for Beth. We could jury rig something, but it's still just not ideal for two people that are going to be traveling together.
Yeah. And I think there's a lot of options. I mean, Jason is super handy when it comes to building things, as you have seen with how he has built his van, to where I think we can take pieces of the things that we like to create something pretty special down the road. So, yeah, so we'll see. But, just reading a few. I'd flip the bus, then sell it. I think, you know, part of the reason he's keeping the bus is you're doing different builds, different little builds on it, and
Right.
it's just not at a point to sell it. So
Yeah. So, you know, like I said, one of the things that Beth and I do to help try to make a living at this whole YouTube game is we do have a lot of manufacturers reach out to us, and they're willing to pay us to make videos on products. And some of those products, you know, have to do with RV builds and like air conditioners, water heaters, diesel heaters, and the like. And in fact, on my channel here soon, I'm going to have a video on installing a hydronic heater that is designed to basically warm up the engine so that if I was to build the bus and I was out in the winter in cold weather, that I could actually turn on this heater and it would heat the coolant in the bus and get the block warmed up and allow me to start the engine easier. So like as it is right now, it's useful to me. And also, I also look at it as it's a backup because, like Beth says, sometimes I have problems with Sasquatch, and it's always nice to know it's kind of like a little bit of a safety, or not safety, but just kind of a nice to know that if Sasquatch was to be down for any long period of time, that worst case, that I do have the bus and I could make do with it for a little while I got Sasquatch back on the road. So yeah, there's just a lot of reasons to keep it. And, you know, again, I got such a screaming deal on it, and it's, you know, and quite honestly, with the work that I've done with brands on the bus, it's already paid for itself.
Yeah.
And so having it there just makes a lot of sense.
our friends are asking, are you two going to Mountain West Expo? We are not. I think we are done with expos
Yeah, I
for
think
the
we're burnt
year.
out on expos for the
We
year.
got a little burnout. Doing two big ones back to back, like 1 month after each other, just ended up being a lot. And part of it is we already have some other commitments this fall. So as fun as it is to connect with everybody and to get to do that and teach the classes, it was a little too much. My dad has had some health issues, and so I had to travel back to Nevada. And I think because we just had made those commitments with Expo, as much as we loved it, we're like, let's just take a pause for the
Right.
rest of the year. But yeah, we'll miss seeing you guys. So I hope
Yeah.
you have fun. I'm guessing you're going to be there. So I actually told Jason, I'm like, I'm never doing another expo ever again, like the Overland one.
You know, but honestly, I say that every year,
Yeah.
and every year I end up back at least one expo
Yeah.
for sure.
Well, and I do a lot of van expos, especially with Nuvo. Like I was supposed to be in Lake Tahoe middle of September, but I actually canceled doing that because we have our plans to go to Idaho and Wyoming. And I just felt like with the commitments we made, it wouldn't give us enough time to actually go and enjoy it. We'd just be like driving there, shooting stuff, and driving back. And I want to have fun while we're there. So
Yeah, and that was the thing with West, is the fact that we did get some content and stuff going through there, but at the same time, we were just like, man, we wish we had just more time, just so much more time, because there was a lot of really cool places that we went to. I was going to say, I was going to mention, but I think you are too. But Backroad Gypsy Traveler said that she loves seeing the videos of you and your dad working on projects together.
I do too. I've had the most special time with my dad and my mom ever since I started van life. Honestly, it's been like such a good connection for our relationship. My parents actually borrowed my van for a month and then bought their own rig to travel in after they retired because they had such a fun time. And so when I just went to see my dad a couple weeks ago, he helped me with a couple little projects, but really his health and the issues he had kind of put some of that on pause. And I'm really thankful he's starting to get better now and help with some things. But yeah, those projects I've done with my dad are definitely my absolute favorite. So I'm glad you enjoyed watching them. But
yeah, and I'm hoping that very soon that your dad, I mean, he's already has a little bit, but I'm looking forward to, because I've really enjoyed time with him fishing. We've done some fishing trips, and that's been a lot of fun. Me and her dad went to Pyramid Lake together, and it was, as a relationship goes, that was kind of an interesting thing, because that was like the first thing that me and her dad did together without any other family. So Beth wasn't with us. It was just me and him. And, it was a very memorable time for me.
Yeah, it was for him too. He, definitely is really protective of me and cares a lot about me. And he enjoys seeing our travels, and he loves getting to fish with you. It's fun. So hopefully they'll meet us very soon for more of that.
More fishing.
Yeah. But, yep. Just reading some more. Gotta run. Thank you for the people. I know there's a couple people saying that they had to go, but I really appreciate you guys checking in and joining our live. Like I said, first one I've ever done. If you're interested in more of them, let me know, because it was kind of fun.
Yeah, this has been kind of fun. I do think maybe it's time to
I would say we've been on here for 2 hours.
Yeah.
It's time for Bonanza.
It's time for Bonanza and maybe some real dinner. We've had some snacks,
I know, yeah.
but
We
maybe
need some real dinner.
Yeah.
Can I just say you two are awesome together? Oh, thank you. That's very sweet.
Thank you very much.
Thanks,
yeah,
Sarah.
we appreciate that. We appreciate everybody who has, supported us on this, because, changes are hard for sometimes and for people. And
oh, Richard, you did not have to do that at all. Thank you for sending me that gift. That was incredibly kind of you. And I know I teased about the competition, but I didn't really mean it with that. Thank you so much. It's very kind of you. I appreciate that. I'm gonna like that too. Oops, don't report it. I'm pushing too many buttons. It was very kind. Yeah, you guys, I mean, honestly, I didn't know what to expect with starting YouTube, and I really didn't know it was going to be fun to get to know subscribers and have Patreons, and I have made some incredible friends just through that. Courtney and Marshall are on here, and they were some of Jason's friends. And
right. And I met them through YouTube as well. And then,
and Scott and Brandy, and there's so many others that we've met. And so whenever I see your guys's tags when you're commenting on my videos, it means so much. It's very encouraging, because sometimes we're out there filming and you're kind of wondering, like, is this making a difference? Is this worth it?
Right.
But it's pretty cool. So I just really appreciate all the love and support from you guys. Definitely very much.
And I think that's the one reason why I do find myself ending up at an expo every year, is just because I get to meet subscribers face to face, and they tell me their stories. And some of them are very meaningful for sure. And when you are like, man, I just don't feel like doing this anymore. Because like I said, I've been doing this for 13 years. There's definitely times where I'm just like, I don't want to pick up a camera. I don't want to touch it. I don't want to edit anything. But then, the folks come along and they share their stories. And it makes it worth, wanting to get up and do the and do the work. So do appreciate that, like Beth said. And I have met a lot of really good people. Oh yeah, we should end up. Come here, Ben. Come here, Ben.
Do you guys want to say bye too?
Yeah, come here.
Well,
let's come here. You can come here. Can you come sit by Papa?
Oh,
yeah.
Good job.
There you go. Okay, there we go.
We figure this is the best way to sign off.
This is probably the best way to sign off.
Apollo's like, this is gonna last 5 seconds.
I'm gonna let you hold me for, and then Ben's like, I'm gonna
bite you. But yeah, thank you guys so much. I'm so excited to see where Grit and Glam goes, because I don't know. I just feel like we have something pretty special. So thank you guys very much.
Thank you.
Yeah.
You guys all have a good night.
Yes. Yeah.
And we will see you guys in the next adventure.
Yeah.
Or in my case, outside.
Until the next adventure.
Yeah.